Welcome back to Beyond the Spectrum. This is Dreem sharing our family's journey with autism, and this is episode 18. For the next 3 episodes, today and 2 more, we're going to be talking a little bit more about language, but specifics, some pretty fun examples that we've seen over the years, some new little victories that we were seeing emerging from him, the excitement about all that. But we're going to start off with a little sad because I prefer to end on a happy note, so let's get the sad right out of the way. Once you start to realize that your words have power, then you are also now responsible to use them in a way that allows you to exemplify that power and responsibility that you have in your life. When you have been relying on other people to do things for you, and now you can do it yourself, there is this newfound independence that we as a family want to obviously foster and encourage to grow even more. That means us stepping back and allowing him to step forward. That also means that there's a lot of times when you're going to have to watch your child fail and possibly have pain associated with it. In this case, it was literal physical pain. Why? Because one of the things that Micah struggled with was migraines. And obviously, when he would tell us that he was getting a migraine, then we'd be able to help him in that arena. But when he would withhold things, we would not have any clue that, the migraine was coming, the pain was coming, until it was too late. I also suffer from migraines, and I have ever since I was the littlest girl. It's one of my earliest memories is actually the pain, the excruciating pain of a migraine. So I knew what he struggled with, and it made it all the more excruciating for me to watch my son go through this when all he had to do was alert us from the beginning that he was starting to have pain. Now, there were other reasons why he wouldn't tell us. It wasn't just the, not wanting to ask for help. There were also things that he was realizing if he withheld certain things from us and didn't tell us that he was now getting a migraine because he was playing on a video game too long, or he was staring at a TV and not blinking his eyes, or he was playing really intensely with his sister. A lot of times the intensity of the emotion would kind of amp his feelings and amp the possibility that he'd be getting the migraine. He realized the power on the one side where if he withheld that, he could play longer. But obviously he was too young to realize, I can play longer, but I'm also making the pain so much worse, because we would tell him time and time again, Micah, if you tell us you have a migraine, you can still go back to playing. And if we give you the medicine early, then you can go back to playing sooner and the pain won't get so bad. But this was just one of those lessons that it was really hard. It reminded me of, I don't know if you've ever seen the marshmallow experiment with children. It was a study that they did. They would put children in a room and put a marshmallow on the plate and say, you can either have this marshmallow now, or if you wait 15 minutes, I'll come back and give you 2. And it was really interesting because they followed them in this longitudinal study, and they looked to see if it actually had impact on the way that they viewed life in the future. And they found that it did. The children who were able to wait for that second marshmallow were able to suppress a lot of those impatience and impulsive actions that lead to bad consequences in the future. And so this was something that we were seeing in Micah on a different scale, a different level, because this was not just a marshmallow treat. This was actual pain involved, and it was really hard. You might think, well, why not just take the video games away? Why not just take the TV away? Why not just, be monitoring it all the time? You can. And there were times when we actually did, when, it was becoming just clear that he was going to choose the wrong choice every time. Then it was, okay, well, then we have to pull this away from you because we love you. You might think it's mean, but we don't like the pain that you're in. And if video games or intense play or, whatever is causing this, then we need to take it away from you because we love you that much. But then there was also this nice little balance where sometimes he would, kind of step up. Sometimes there would be a, hey, are you okay? And just that question right there was enough for him to say, okay, I think I'm starting to get a headache. And then he realized over time that it was better for him to admit that he was putting himself into a bad position and to seek the solution out, be a part of that process, and take ownership of those choices that he was making. It might seem like I'm making a big deal out of a small thing, but it really wasn't. It really was so integral in the way that his mind would start to look at life and realize that it wasn't just about a migraine. It was about asking for help and being a part of that intervention himself, getting himself into situations that were better suited for him in the long run. That process, if you kind of piece together the whole time issue that we've talked about in the past, the language issue, the asking for help, you can see how it kind of all comes together and really forms this perspective on life. So yeah, it's about helping them. It's about helping them help themselves. It's about helping them when they can't help themselves. It's about being wise enough to know the difference between when you need to step in, when you need to step back. It's about when to offer incentives, when to add in punishment, when to pull away things, when to have conversations, when to be silent, all the while watching, observing, studying, seeing what is best for your child, trying to eliminate the pain where you can, but realizing that sometimes the pain is one of the best teachers for them. Very, very difficult. Take a deep breath. It's very difficult, but you care about them. You love them more than they know. You have to be willing to do the hard things, but always be certain to let them know that the reason that you do what you do is because you love them. That's all for today. See you tomorrow.